we have one of our favorite guests and favorite products coming up right now because finally Ferris is back. Carrie Boletto, just come on out here. She brings us our Ferris. What's taking you so long to get it back?
I know.
It's been
we had the holidays and New Year's.
Forever. I know. So what she's brought us though, that you guys love so much, Ferris brings us the cherry berry nut mix.
Yep.
It's unlike anything else you have ever experienced because of the quality of what they bring us. But what you did this time is you mixed it up a little bit. So we have the cranberry crunch. You're gonna get a full pound of cranberry crunch mix, a full pound of your cherry berry and nut mix, and a full pound of your cherry berry nut mix with the chocolate chunks because it is Valentine's coming up. So perfect, $39.95 free shipping, 3 flex payments, and this is why we love Ferris.
Absolutely.
You have to look at this. She just poured this into the bowl, okay? What you're looking at right here, look at those pecans. Do you know how hard it, well, you know, because if you've ever shelled a pecan, you know it is so hard to get them whole. The quality of everything here is just phenomenal. This is the one with the chocolate chunks.
That's chocolate chunks. So I wanted to show you something I don't usually do, but I wanted to show you just how much is inside these containers because I think sometimes even when you get them home, you go, wait, but when you pour these out, it is a full pound of each flavor. And these are our favorites for a reason. They're the ones that we've been here now since 2010. So, which has been so long, but we've been in business since 1924. So 94 years, Ferris out of Grand Rapids, Michigan has been creating these amazing mixes. And we're also known for coffee too. A lot of people don't realize that. But our mixes have been something we've been doing, our nuts, our fruits. It's very important to us to give you the most highest quality and the freshest mixes that you can possibly get. So let me go through very quickly what each one has. And we'll start with cherry berry because that's the one that everyone really knows the most. That's the one we've had here since the very, very beginning. And cherry berry has pretty much your favorites that you can count on every time. And that's gonna be those cashews from India and Brazil. It's gonna be the almonds from California. It's gonna be those pecans that Alice was just talking about from Texas that are nice and whole, so they'll be nice and flavorful and filled with oils. We're gonna have our Michigan cherries, which are absolutely juicy and scrumptious. And then our USA cranberries, which they look like they've been freshly cut from the bog. That's how beautiful and vibrant they are. That's gonna give you your cherry berry mix. So you're getting 1 pound of that. The only difference in chocolate chunk is that we add chocolate chunks. So we don't just add any chocolate either. We're adding that bittersweet dark chocolate. And the reason that's important is because you don't want candy kind of to compete with the dried fruits. You wanna have that bittersweet, which is gonna give it that perfect sweet and savory happening between the nuts and the fruit. So we've really put a lot of thought into that. So that's your chocolate chunk. You're getting a full pound of that. And then I'm just gonna start right from scratch here. I'm gonna do my almonds. I'm gonna do my cranberries. I'm going to do my raisins, which we do raisins unlike anybody else. I'm gonna take one of our raisins for a second and just put it right there. This is a raisin.
Huge.
From a store-bought. Now, there's lots of things you can gather from just looking at it in my hand, but I want you to look at like a coloration difference, a size difference, ours versus theirs. So to me, this is where it really counts, the difference. If you look at the comments about Ferris, you'll go, wow, people are talking about this should be illegal, it's so good. Why are they saying that? This is why. It has to do with the quality of what we're giving you. So Cranberry Crunch finishes off with some blanched peanuts. So we take our peanuts, and a lot of the times we try to keep them as together for you as possible. And then you're gonna have these ginormous
awesome.
yogurt-covered raisins. So you saw how yummy and jumbo those raisins were. Well, now we cover them over with a high-quality yogurt. So you're getting, this is kind of, I guess, the sweeter mix out of the 3. So it gives you kind of more of that dessert time yummy.
So good.
I like this like kind of at night.
They're so good.
Aren't they awesome? So, and we don't do this all the time. So the yogurt covered we can only do certain times of the year, and chocolate chunk we can only do certain times of the year. So this is very special to get all 3 pounds in one offer.
Unbelievable, guys, at $39.95, and we're gonna ship this to you absolutely free. Do we have this on auto ship or no?
I am actually not sure.
Actually, we don't, because of the chocolate chunk.
That's all we have.
Right, because we can't ship this all the rest of the year because this is a special configuration. So if you love your cherry berry, then great, but you're getting the other 2 as well, so you get that variety. It's gonna be such fun. You will love these other flavors as much as you love the cherry berry. We'd love to hear from you. We know you've had this here for 8 years. If you love it as much as I do, I keep this in my house. It is a healthy snack. but it's a snack that's not just healthy. I look forward to it.
Yeah.
And I eat like a little handful of the fruit and nuts, and I gotta tell you, it stays with me. I feel satiated,
yeah.
I feel full, and I'm happy. I haven't suffered through some, you know, low-fat snack.
Well, you're giving yourself that something sweet, that's something savory, and you're getting yourself antioxidants, you're giving yourself proteins. This is a nutritional snack, and that means basically that you don't have to feel so bad about it. And at this time of year when we're trying to make better choices, the way to do it, get rid of the stuff in your kitchen and your pantry that's going to be bad for you in the end. When you say, you know what, let me get rid of the chips or the candy or the whatever, and let me go ahead and put in the good stuff so it's in my path. If you don't have it in your path, you won't go out and seek it. You're gonna grab what's right in front of you. So by having this in those safe places, meaning your desk at work, do you get hungry at night? You wanna have it in the bedstand, you know, be beside the bedstand maybe. I always keep some with me when I'm in the car because I live, you know, most of the time I live in Atlanta now, and traffic is terrible. So it's like you get stuck in traffic for a while. What are you gonna do if you're starving and you finally just got off traffic? You go through the drive-through and then you go, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. And how good do you feel after you eat drive-through food? You know what I mean? So with this, you're giving yourself, so the cashews, like we were talking about again, look at the difference between a store-bought cashew and a Ferris cashew. You can ultimately very quickly see the size difference when they're side by side. Again, India and Brazil is where we source ours from. I don't know where this one came from, but I do know that we're gonna make sure to get you not just that they're large, but also that they're tasty, that the profile's right.
The color, the way that they're toasted perfectly brown. I will tell you the truth, I was sitting with my daughter this morning. And you know, she never watches HSN with me, really. I mean, you know, she's 17. And we were watching you, because she loves this stuff. And she saw this demonstration, and she goes, oh my gosh, she goes, that is crazy. That is so crazy. She goes, the difference is so remarkable. She goes, I didn't know it was like that different.
Well, I'm glad
when you
I could
see
impress
it
her.
side to side, really.
I know, that's a big deal.
She's tough. When you see it side to side, you cannot believe the difference. But when you taste it, like these raisins.
Oh my gosh, so listen, let's talk about those.
I don't eat raisins except for these.
Me either.
These are delicious.
Where we get our raisins from, guys, we go across the world, and actually there's certain places, so we went to Chile to actually get our raisins, because in South America, they actually use raisins as snacks. Like they're not just like, you know, not in like little tiny boxes or whatever, like they actually are gourmet. And so that's where we found these amazing, beautiful raisins that are unlike anything you've ever seen. But I wanna show you, normally with dried fruits, I call these petrified fruits. Okay, because here's the deal. I can squeeze this as hard as I want and it's not gonna change shape. I can bang it on the table. Then we got things like banana chips.
Crack a tooth on it.
Yeah, we're trying to get our crunch from this when it should be from the nuts. Let's talk about a Ferris. Okay, so let's do a raisin. You guys always see me rip into my cherry.
Okay, that is a raisin. Just stop there. How is that a raisin?
Look at this. Look at that juice that just came out on my fingers, you guys, and this is just picked from what I just poured. So what I want you to understand is the difference that's gonna happen. Instead of your petrified dried fruits, think about the difference when you bite into this. You're gonna have the crunch from that beautiful cashew, that pecan, the fresh oils are gonna come out just as you crunch into it, but then the juiciness of that raisin or that Michigan cherry. What mixes out in the marketplace have cherries in them? I've never seen, I always see raisins, and if you do wanna buy like a cherry, you're gonna pay a lot. Like I have tried to put a mix like this together on my own. So if we were to get all the different ingredients that you have in these 3 mixes that we're offering to you, that would be astronomical. We cover that for you. We take care of that for you. And also, we pack them fresh upon your order.
And you know, it'd be so much easier to go to one place and source everything. Instead, they're getting the best of the best. The pecans are from Texas. I lived in Texas. Let me tell you, the pecan trees there are incredible. But to shell a pecan and have it come out like this is pretty crazy. And you know why it matters? Because as soon as you start cutting it up, you release the oils from it and it starts to dry out. That's why they don't taste very good. I crave the pecans in here because of the oils that it has in it. It will taste like a completely different pecan when you have it, and it is a full half instead of being all chopped up, because it's so much easier just to smash it with a hammer. You know, that's what most companies do. They smash it with a hammer.
Well, and that's why you pay less. If you buy it that way, you'll pay less because it's easier and faster for them to do it. But we promise.
Do this. This has to be by hand.
We promise not to do that. We promise to give you the highest quality, the best tasting, the freshest tasting. And ultimately, it's, you know, my 2 hands here are representative of what's available. This is a major supermarket that I just go in every time we're here. I go and I purchase a bag and I pull out, you know, each individual ingredient, and then I show it next to Ferris. And when you do that, there is no comparison.
There's no comparison.
This is an experience. You know, you're not getting...
Look at these.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Because you can see, and I'll tell you what, and I don't have a knife with me right now. I can't bite into it. But if I were to bite into this and I were to bite into that, you'd see the raisin on this side is going to be itsy bitsy bitsy, and the raisin on this side is going to be that huge juicy raisin that we were talking about. So a lot of times when you get it in these mixes, it's all yogurt and it's no fruit, right? Another issue we have with dried fruit in the marketplace is that most people will take the juice out, send it to concentrate, and all you're eating is the skins. So that is an issue that you'll find when you have, like, maybe you're not a big dried fruit fan and you go, yeah, every time I have it, it just is like no flavor.
Well, it's like fruit jerky.
Yeah, and then they put tons of salt on it, right? So even though we're roasted salted, please know that we are lightly
Very
dusted,
lightly.
right?
It's enough, because I'm sodium sensitive.
Yeah.
It is enough so that, because I can't eat the ones that don't have any salt on them.
Of course, yeah, the raw.
I mean, some people
I
like that.
raw.
I have to have a little salt.
But
it's just, it's a perfect dusting on it. This, look, and here's what I want you to see, okay? Because if you're thinking, well, maybe they just pulled out all the big pieces and the chunks. And look at every single one of these, okay? Hasn't been opened. And look at the big chunks of everything. The full almonds, okay? It's not the little pieces of almonds. It is the full almonds. It is the full pecan. It is those oversized raisins that I gotta tell you, the raisins, I hope you just pick out raisins from the first. That's it. That's in the crunch?
They are. That's in the cranberry crunch.
In the cranberry crunch. Pick out the raisins if you can. You're going to think it's a cherry because it's that big.
It really is.
It really is.
And I almost, and you're right, these are the only raisins I have ever really liked, because as a kid, I used to get those little ones in the box.
I hated those
And
things.
they were just like, it was always like, that was the bad thing you got for Halloween, and you'd be like, why did you give this to me?
I know.
But with these, this is a totally different experience. Again, and this is one of our cherries, so I'm just taking the cherry in my fingers, and you see all the cherry juice that's all over me. I like to do this for you guys because I want you to understand, you should just bite right into a cherry and it should melt in your mouth. The flavor should be poignant. It should be like, this is delicious. You should taste the difference between the cherry and the cranberry, and then when the cashew or the pecan comes in, that you can completely have that whole profile. It's like a party happening in your mouth. And that's what happens with Ferris, and that's why I think, you know, if you read what people are saying, you'll see why these are the favorites. You'll see why, and I'm really excited for you, because this is literally all that we have of this at this time, because before we know it, it's gonna get warm, and then we cannot have cranberry crunch or chocolate chunk anymore.
Okay, and understand, when you get it home, what you need to do is eat each piece. Don't take like a handful.
Right.
You gotta eat
You don't need to.
each piece individually and savor the flavor, because it is so incredible. Carrie, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so all three of those, free shipping and handling on that, as well as the reflex payment. We like